I always used to dream of dressing up Barbie dolls. The idea is not always to show off your outfit. The idea is that your outfit should also complement the other person, that they stand out in their own personality.
Welcome to Success Decoded. I'm your host, Taylor Elizabeth, an emotional intelligence and self-development coach passionate about helping individuals uncover their true potential, build their confidence, and create meaningful success. This podcast is not just about achievements, titles, or material success. It's about exploring the deeper, often overlooked factors that contribute to extraordinary accomplishments. In each episode, I sit down with inspiring individuals from a variety of backgrounds to uncover their choices, habits, and mindsets that have shaped their journeys. Together, we explore the story behind the success, diving into resilience, emotional growth, curiosity, and other essential elements that often go unnoticed, but are crucial to living a truly fulfilled and impactful life. Get ready to decode the real keys to success, and let's embark on this enlightening conversation together. And today we're stepping into the glamorous and ever-evolving world of fashion. But behind the sequins and runways lies a deeper truth. Emotional intelligence is just as essential as creativity and skill, especially in the world of couture. Our guest today is a shining example of how to balance artistry, empathy, and entrepreneurship. She's the brilliant mind behind her eponymous label, Nikhita Tandon, a brand known for its exquisite design and personal approach to couture. From dressing Bollywood's elite to helping clients feel seen, heard, and beautiful, she has redefined what it means to be a modern-day fashion icon and business leader. Nikhita, thank you so much for being here with us. I'm so excited to dive into your story and learn more about what drives the brains and beauty behind your successful endeavor.
But I'd like to welcome you here today. Thank you for being.
Thank you, and thank you for calling me here, Taylor. Excited.
So excited, absolutely so excited. Okay, so many young girls, I being one of them,
Yes.
dreamed of working in fashion.
Yes.
So what was it that first sparked your love for this industry?
My mom's passion. I think that's what excited me. She was a perfect example of hard work and creativity. And when I started entering her office, I just fell in love with fabrics, with colors, and I liked what it was helping her in her building of her soul, I would say, just the whole day, that satisfaction of creating something and seeing that on a client or even on a model and how it looks. I love that feeling, and before I knew, I was so engrossed in it, but I had a different flair from her. I was more drapey, she was more into Indian embroideries. So then I thought, okay, this is something I would love to go ahead with.
That's amazing. So you were inspired by the process and by probably her energy, I would think, right? Just see
Yes.
and how she probably loved it. It's her passion.
It's her passion.
Yeah.
Yes, she loves it. And I think it was my passion as well when I was a kid. But in your teenage years, you try so many different things. I also kind of lost my way. But yes, I guess I was destined to come here, and happy about that.
We tested a little bit, during those years we tested, but then it's good because when it gets tested, we know.
We know. Yes. So I was 100% sure when I came here.
100% sure, fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about your mother a little bit. So Miss Rin,
Yes.
she's very, very famous in this industry. So please do talk a little bit about her and not just, you talked a little bit about that's how we got where we are today and what your inspiration was and why you got into fashion. But how is it for you to build your own identity outside? Now you said that she was into embroidery, more traditional, and I know your designs are actually they're kind of a blend, but in addition that they are fabulous. I love one of your more recent beautiful gowns, gold with the cape kind of sleeve. It's gorgeous.
Yes.
So how have you been able to separate yourself or make an identity?
I think this was very easy. Genuinely, it was very easy because we do think very differently. We are very different people. She loves to get engrossed in drawings and embroideries, and I am into embroidery, but I always used to dream of dressing up Barbie dolls. That's where my passion started from when I was a kid. I was crazy about Snow White. I used to see how are these gowns made. So when I started sampling my first collection, gowns came very easily to me. So drapes and touch of embroidery, more of sequence embroidery, which is, let's just say, a little bit more English way of doing things, you know. So that came in very easily to me. That's where my heart was. Whereas my mother is very fusion, very Indian, but she loves the Indian culture. She loves the old style of doing heavy embroidery, zardozi, what you call. Yeah, so I guess we both had different tastes, different flares, and it just comes across in our collection.
No, I mean, I love it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Indian designs, Indian embroidery, fabrics. It's actually something that I fell in love with quite at a young age.
I think now Indian fashion has become quite global. So those embroideries have become pretty global.
You know, I'm so happy about that. I have to tell you, because the first time I saw an Indian sari, I was about 9 years old. My aunt brought one back from my mother, and I saw her wrapping my mother in it. And I never seen my mother look more gorgeous, more beautiful, and more elegant than in that time. And it has been in my head since that moment. Usually,
I guess all daughters have that one moment.
That's the moment for me. And I actually usually wear Indian attire. Today I'm wearing this is a vintage Escada skirt that was my mom's from the 80s. I love talking about mothers. We're not going to do this whole show about that.
No, please do.
From the 80s, she inspired my fashion as well. So hearing your story is really wonderful to hear. And the fact that you're both in the same industry, but doing your own thing, independent, which is wonderful. So you've worked with some of the biggest names in Bollywood. So like, for example, like Rani Kapoor. What is it like designing for such high-profile clients? And does it come with its own set of challenges?
I don't take it as a challenge. I really get inspired by some people's beauty and personality. And I get very excited when I know that I have to dress up this person. Like when I got to know that she is going to be the showstopper of one of my shows, I was just so excited. Then I look into the skin, the height, the body type, and then I start sketching that what will make this person look so pretty. The idea is not always to show off your outfit. The idea is that your outfit should also complement the other person, that they stand out in their own personality, you know. Yeah, I get excited whenever I have to design, whether it's a celebrity or a customer. It's exciting to design specifically for a body type, specifically for a personality.
Yes. So in this world of creativity, there's always something new around the corner. Like, for example, every season we have different influences into what's going on in all fashion, no matter where we are in the world. How do you make sure that your brand stands out and really leaves that lasting impression, your signature?
You know, definitely influencers are helping brands a lot, no doubt about it. But with so many of marketing tools and experiments and everything, fashion shows, having celebrities as your showstoppers, I've realized nothing helps more than your creativity. If you are very focused and consistent about developing new designs, like I have like a formula, you know, that every season I have to, there has to be a mix of designs, one which says this is brand Nikhita, and something which says I have outbeaten myself, you know. So it has to be a mix of both. I think if you are able to deliver that, people come to you. Even if you're not publicizing, you're in a small space, but if your creativity is liked, is understood, I would say, people reach out to you.
So they identify with your brand.
They will, yes.
Absolutely. Yes. You know, I can totally see that. How do you make sure that you stay true to that?
Yeah, I guess you have to keep inspiring yourself. Yeah, you have to challenge yourself that every season I have to come up with something better. Like, truly speaking, like you mentioned Rani Kapoor, you know. So she wore one of these gowns. It was a gold beige color sequins gown, and I think I've sold maximum copies of it.
Yes, amazing.
Now, every year I think I have to beat this particular design to sell many more copies, you know. So yeah, I guess I challenge myself, I inspire myself all the time.
When you have those days of not having that inspiration, I mean, for example, as an emotional intelligence coach, you have to get up every day and I have to be there to be able to give those tools to other people so that they can be the best version of themselves. Where do you find this energy or the direction?
So I get these days very often where I feel blocked. I feel what next? How do I actually design something which is coming out from my heart? Because I've realized no matter how much I try and follow the trends, the written trends online and all, it doesn't work for me. What works comes from within. When I can't find any inspiration, if I'm not really traveling or not meeting any new people or something, I've realized meditation helps me the most.
Amazing.
So
Any
the
tips
more
for
I
that?
sit for my meditation, I don't know how much I focus, but designs start flowing in. Yeah, and then whatever comes to my mind, I just quickly write it down.
Okay.
I go back to meditation. If that thought comes again to me, then I know I have to create this, what I have just visualized.
What do you think it is about meditation that allows you to, is it the space that it gives you? Because we probably all have this within ourselves. So as a coach, I would say meditation is wonderful because it quiets the mind. It allows us to focus unfocused depending on what you really need to do.
True.
But sometimes it just allows the inner person, your inner self to come out and speak to you. It's your intuition, it's your truth, which oftentimes we can self-critic out. Is it all of those things?
I don't want to say whether this is my intuition or it's your inner voice, but I have this belief that always guides me to the correct path. And silence somehow helps me give answers to all those problems which maybe are, I'm still trying to find a solution for. So if it's been a chaotic day and I can't find something inspiring enough, what to do next, there are days when I don't know why am I going to the factory, what am I going to design today, So yeah, sitting in meditation, sitting in silence kinds of calms me down. And I get solutions very easily. Maybe it's the inner voice which is helping me out. Could be.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's a great tip for everybody watching is to try meditation. It's a great thing to do. Also, silence can be wonderful because it allows that space. It is hard to do, right? It's hard to do at the beginning. It's hard to do in the beginning to start, but it's like anything you do. You do it, commit to it, then it becomes habit, and then it's a wonderful tool that you're using every day. So that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, so is elegance something you're consciously thinking of when you're creating?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I like to dress up people in a way that they actually look elegant. I wouldn't consider myself trying to make my clients look hot.
Okay.
I think I like the classic elegant look more. And that's where I like to be in that space also. I like that niche market where people look at my designs and they feel it's not about being blingy or non-blingy. They should feel that, yes, I'm looking classy and elegant. It should be a piece in your wardrobe forever.
Yes, timeless.
So,
a timeless piece with a really interesting twist to it, which is what I really love about it because there is modernity to it. It's not just like something, it looks like a style maybe from 40s, 50s. I see some elements of that, but then there's very modern, and then there's a little bit of an Indian influence as well, which I love all of it. It's like a blend of everything.
Honestly, the Indian wedding industry is so big that no designer can stay away from it. You get engulfed in it very easily. And it's actually a lot of fun because every girl has her own dream of how she wants to look in a gown. So listening to them and then designing for their different needs, it's very exciting.
And no one does weddings better than India. No one in the entire world does this. The best weddings, the most joyful weddings I've ever been to. My favorite weddings I've ever been to have always been Indian weddings. Every time I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, they get it right. First of all, because it's fabulous. The color, the clothing, and then the joy. It is just so filled with joy. There's no damper on any of that. It is absolutely wonderful. They're always my favorite. Inclusivity in fashion is something we're seeing more of, which I think is a wonderful shift. From when I was in the industry, as we were talking earlier, I used to do modeling when I was younger. It was not so inclusive by any means, inclusivity in any kinds of way. Now it's really changed, which is wonderful. How do you make sure that inclusivity is part of your brand?
I first want to know what exactly do you mean by inclusivity? Maybe my meaning of it is different from yours.
Inclusivity in the sense of who could this be for? How is it presented on models, for example? The sizes, the shapes, the forms, the skin tones.
But I do feel it was always there in the Indian industry.
Yeah, and you definitely may have that.
Yeah, because this question is asked a lot, and I have felt international brands, if you see, they were always about small, medium, large, extra large, very well way of doing your retail business. But somehow we Indians have always incorporated inclusivity from day one. We are practically designing, our vision is very clear that we are designing for this particular season or this kind of clientele. Like I said, the wedding market could be one of it, or even if it is streetwear. But then people, when they come to us, I don't think there's any designer who's not incorporating inclusivity to the extent that the entire design is being changed to make sure that the person who's buying fits into it beautifully and looks beautiful.
Yeah.
We know there was a time where in India low necklines were not really much in trend, you know. But today we know that clients would love to, brides would love to suddenly, like every bride is right now wearing a
Yes.
low neckline and okay
Yes.
to show a cleavage also, which was
Yeah.
not there earlier.
Yeah, not even that long ago.
Yeah, so I think we have been following, or I would say we have been very conscious of including the choices, the preferences of our clientele or audience, whichever way you want to say. Yeah.
It's actually really great. It was a great flip on that question. Because maybe the question should have been more, how are you being more inclusive towards, not necessarily individual preferences, but just kind of something maybe a little bit challenging, maybe some of those is a better question, right?
Yeah.
Because you're talking about the necklines and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Because then I guess before, if you're being very inclusive to what, doesn't matter if somebody was of a larger size, skinnier size, shorter,
Yes.
taller, doesn't matter. But maybe now there's some things that are being offered that weren't necessarily offered before, and maybe this is appealing to people. Not so it's kind of working like you're offering it, and that people are saying, "Oh, it's finally here," you know, versus they have to ask for it.
So I think Indian designers do design thinking what people are now asking for.
Yes, they're flexible.
What are they flexible about? What are they open to?
Yes.
It really happens that we are forcing our designs that, oh my God, this is the trend that you have to wear it like that. No, it doesn't happen in here like that at all.
That would not work.
It's not a rack system where, of course, with streetwear or other pret line brands, the system is here that we are giving you sizes for pret line, you know.
Yeah.
But if it is because India is more known for, I would say, intricacy, that when you're working on so much of intricate work, putting that intricacy in our clientele happiness and what would they like to wear comes very naturally to us.
It's like a very bespoke.
Yeah, we are customizing every day.
You're customizing everything, which is wonderful. So as fashion is an expression of self-expression, it is a form of self-expression, excuse me, and as your clients are showing you, because they're telling you exactly what you want custom, do you think that emotional intelligence and empathy play a role when it comes to understanding what each of these brides want, for example?
Does. Really, it plays a very big role. I consider myself quite high on empathy level.
Great.
I don't know true or false, but this is what I feel about myself. I do like to relate to what my client wants to feel on that special day. I have seen brides coming up to me and saying, I love your design. Maybe I don't have the budget, but I want to look like this. So how can you help me out? And I'm more than happy to change it a little bit, maybe change the material, but I tell them, okay, you don't need to run away.
Yes.
You have to sit with me, you have to give me an hour, I'm happy to sketch and make sure that if this is what you want to look like, I'll make sure that you look like that in your budget.
Yes.
So, and it is very important to feel what they want to look like. It's one of the best days of their life. Like weddings are really big here, and they mean a lot to these girls, you know, even men for
everything with the whole family.
Today,
it's amazing.
Today even I would say men's fashion has increased so much. There was a time they only used to wear a simple wedding achka and with not much work. Today they have all the embroidery, Swarovski, everything, and they also have emotions to to portray.
Yes.
I have couples coming in saying, look, I'm wearing a tuxedo like this. I want her to look like this. They show me pictures of celebrities that I want my girl to look like this, so that when we are photographed, we look like this couple and all. And it's nice. They have visions, they have dreams, and I feel happy if I can fulfill it. So it's important for me to understand their emotions.
Amazing. One huge element of emotional intelligence is listening, right? So because you can't come to awareness or understanding or anything unless you actually are really fully listening. So active listening. So listening to understand, not to respond.
Yeah.
As a creative, when you see someone, I would imagine you have a lot of ideas of what could look great or whatever, but I'd imagine you've probably developed a lot of really good tools on how to turn that off for a moment to make sure you really hear what they're saying. Would you like to give our listeners today some advice on how to really actively listen to when somebody's talking to you?
This has come with a little bit of a practice because initially, you are so excited for your gown to reach out to the person, or for your embroideries or your silhouettes, that you try and convince the other person that you should try this. I think this will look nice on you. But slowly, with experience, I've realized it's good to offer them a cup of coffee, sit with them, talk to them, hear them out for at least 10-15 minutes. Give that break. Try not to sell your design. Try to, incorporate your designs in their lifestyle, in their dream. So it's not easy. It's very hard. It has taken me years.
Yeah.
But when you actually listen, I think that's what I called you build brand loyalty. People come back to you when they know that this designer has the patience to listen to us.
Yeah.
That really helps in long run.
Because people really just want to be seen, heard, and feel safe in a situation, right? And this is a very emotive situation
True,
for
and
wedding.
like I said, because there is so much of bespokeness and customization here,
Yeah.
people even want to see, who am I dealing with? Who's this designer?
Yes.
They want to know your personality, that why am I buying from this person?
Yes.
So that is, and Indians are very emotional people. They like to connect.
Yes.
Not everybody is okay to buy from a designer just because of the name.
Yes.
Some people actually like to connect with the person, get a little friendly,
Yes.
know their concepts in head,
Yeah.
and I guess it goes both ways.
Yeah, and it's the energy of the other human being also, which is
True.
very important as well. So I'm
True.
sure that this has been, even though it's been challenging to develop these skills, I'm sure it's been very effective as you
It's very
develop the
helpful.
brand.
It is one of the most important tools to make brand loyal clientele.
How do you help your clients feel more confident in their own skin?
I don't judge their style. I don't judge their style. There are times when I do recommend somebody that I think you should go with this and not with that. Like, why are you taking full sleeves? You can, your body can take even a halter and stuff like that. And maybe they're not comfortable with that in that skin, or they have their own cultural thought process. And I accept it very easily. I said, okay, what makes you happy? I have to learn to design for that rather than trying to change you.
Yeah.
I don't try to change the style statement of anybody. So, and you can't change anybody. You just have to learn to accept their style statement
Exactly.
and work around it.
Yeah. So woman to woman, we can be our worst self-critic. And as a designer, I know that you're in the industry, and the industry, even if it is very accepting and inclusive of size and everything else, it can lead to a lot of criticism. Even ourselves as women, we can be a little critical of ourselves. So like the days you say you don't feel like wearing something, for example, whatever that reasoning is, you don't feel like wearing it.
Yes.
How do you give yourself self-compassion? How do you give yourself kindness or grace in those
I'm
moments?
very high on affirmations.
Amazing. Okay, so tell us some of them. Or if you're willing to share, tell us some of them.
So the day I feel I'm not looking my best, or I'm not feeling my best, or anything like that, I have a brand called I'm Worth It.
Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
And the reason I started that brand was for the same.
Okay.
I felt there are girls who feel that not every day is their best day, or and specifically I feel women in India give a lot and take less. So that balance goes a little haywire.
Exactly.
And it's important for your own self-confidence, for your own self-love, to have that correct balance between giving and taking love.
Yes.
So I started with this affirmation, I'm worth it. I used to write that a lot for myself. It used to make me feel very happy. And one day I said, okay, let me just come out with some t-shirts, and then little print line called I'm Worth It, and that's how this brand started. In general, I feel if you're going through a phase, which every girl does, we do criticize ourselves. We do criticize other women also.
Yes.
I think there are just two habits. One, stop judging another person.
Yeah,
stop judging another woman. I feel it's not good.
Ladies, it's so difficult as it is. Like honestly, not that we don't offer not that we ever don't fall into this, because we're all
Yes.
human,
Yeah.
but like it's so hard already as it is. Like you're already so hard on yourself. Everybody else is so hard on you. Society is so hard on
True.
you. Like we don't need to do it to each other. We really don't,
Yeah,
right?
so
So, like let's make it easier. We really
start
don't need to do it.
accepting that everyone has their own story,
Yes.
everybody has their own emotions. So stop thinking about what the other person's behaving like and don't judge them.
Yes.
The day you stop judging others, you'll actually reach a stage where you stop judging yourself.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
you will start accepting yourself the way you are.
So talking a little bit more about stress, and for example, the industry that you're in is very fast-paced. So especially with all tight deadlines, and how do you manage the pressure of does it get overwhelming?
So when I had started my work, it was more of fun. Then when I actually reached the point where I think I was being very competitive, it became extremely stressful for me. I remember working till 2 a.m., sleeping only for 4 hours. Every day was like, oh my God, for every project, I just wanted to put out my best. I did 5 to 6 fashion shows in a month, which became very hectic
It's
and
a
stressful
lot.
for me.
Yeah.
And instead of making my designs look differently every time on the ramp, I made new outfits. You know, I think in 2018 or 19, I did one of the fashion shows of Miss India, the semi-finale round of gowns, and they called me 20 days before the show, and they said you have to make 30 new gowns. And I took it upon myself, and that was so stressful because I really did not sleep for those 20 days.
Yes.
But the reward has always been very, I would say, very fulfilling, also very satisfying. The reward you get in the end to see your best result.
Yes.
But today, I don't think I'm in that space where I want to take that much stress. Yes. I don't know whether I'm managing it better, or is it just after marriage I'm in that space where I want to do quality work, take my time. I don't want to be in the race as of now, you know. I've done that for 10, 12 years.
Yes.
And this is the time where I want to enjoy myself. I want to enjoy the new partner in my life. I
Yes.
want to enjoy all the new relationships. And somehow they are helping me think new towards creativity also. A lot of new relationships in my life right now, and they are making me see my creativity in a different way. Shift from one city to the other has also changed my mindset a lot. Like for example, Delhi people used to feel very different about clothing. The way they look at spending on clothes is very different from the west side of India, like Maharashtra and all these places. They think very differently about fabrics, about workmanship. I'm in that phase where I think my learning has started again. So rather than being more stressful and competitive, I'm enjoying the phase of designing what I like to design. Also learning and incorporating little new culture around me.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess I'm in that less stressful stage.
Oh, that's amazing. I think it sounds like you did a really good job of taking a pause.
Yes.
And not reprioritizing things, but rebalancing by setting better boundaries about things.
True.
Like you said, this is something
True.
and I think that space, just like the silence and just like the meditation, the actual choices that we make give us some space
Yes.
to be able to reevaluate, and then not reevaluate to slow down, but reevaluate to be more maybe effective in what you want to be doing.
Yeah, I think I want to be a better version of myself, and I'm okay to take a year or two and to get maybe. And I am looking out for innovating something new. I am in that search right now, but I don't want to do it in that pressure and stress of, oh my God, every 3 months we have to do this season collection. You know, that is happening, but yes, I guess in my own pace right now.
Yes. So I'll have one last question for you. So to wrap things up, what is your vision for making the fashion industry even more, I guess, reflective of, we talked about the diversity that's already in the culture, and that the Indian fashion industry already is very inclusive and very reflective, but the fashion industry in general, as we've talked about, isn't necessarily so. So what would you like them to listen and say, hey, pay attention to India a little bit more, look what we're doing really well at this? Or how would you like it to be more inclusive of the diverse world that we live in?
Designs right now are seen everywhere. It is. We've reached that stage. We have pretty much. There is one change I would really want. I would definitely want more and more Indian designers to be stocked in in all the best shopping retail spaces all over the world.
Yes. Yes.
That is still a little less. Of course, Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, all these fashion weeks are helping Indian designers reach globally.
Yes.
Work is being seen, and I think today Indian work is no more Indian, it is global.
Yes. Yes.
It has reached that stage. But yes, I would want to see the retail space taken over more and more by Indian designers.
Yes. And to have that influence, that
They have
inclusivity
that,
everywhere.
they do, and they know how to cater to every culture. The best part about Indian designers, you ask them to make for American sizes, they will immediately change their design to that. You ask them to make for, UAE clients, they'll change. You ask them to make for UK styles or the same thing in their sizing.
Yes.
So we are there, we are open to that, and yes, I would like the reach to be a little bit more wider.
Yeah, and I would have to say, as a non-Indian person who absolutely adores the culture and loves and in all parts of the culture, but especially the fashion and the fabric, I love wearing Indian attire, and I would wear a sari. I would have worn a sari today. I wear sari a lot, but I was advised.
I would have loved to do that. You should have told me.
I love sari. I wear sari all the time. As much Indian attire as I can anywhere I go.
So when I was a kid, I used to tell my mom, I said, "Isn't sari more like a gown?"
It is like a gown. Absolutely.
So it is for me. Both are same. It's about draping and I do a lot of like sari gown versions.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to check those out as well. But if I just feel like when I wear a sari, it is like I find them super comfortable first. But when I wear them, I just feel like the most pulled together, elegant, sophisticated version of myself. But what I love even more about me wearing it is that every time I wear one, everyone around me, all the Indian people around me are so supportive and embracing that I'm respecting and honoring their culture by wearing it, which is something that I absolutely love. They take it this way, and that is the most amazing thing.
We love
it.
We love to see more and more people in saris, and sari will always be the heart of India.
Yeah, and I would love to see. I would love to see people in the United States wearing them, and I'd love to see the fusion of it. I'd like to see what we do. I wear them often in fusion, so I'll wear like a shirt like this.
I have now started to see. At weddings, gowns which are looking more like sari to me, like draped in a certain way, like the fabric coming out, pulling out from the shoulder, that sort of a thing. That I think that shift has already come. That style is out there now. Yeah, I'm sure within a few years it would be like highly accepted everywhere.
Okay, well, my wardrobe is about to get even bigger. It's going to be filled with all these confusion. So thank you so much. So as we wrap up this incredible conversation, so thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Taylor.
Nikhita, thank you so much for sharing such a heartfelt and inspiring story with us today. Hearing how you personally involve yourself with each client, taking the time to craft designs that reflect their individuality, is a true testament to the power of emotional intelligence in building a brand. You've shown us that success in fashion isn't just about creating beautiful designs. It's about connecting deeply with people and helping them feel confident and empowered. To our listeners, I hope you've been as inspired as I have by Nikhita's passion, vision, and authenticity. Stay tuned for more conversations with trailblazers like her on Success Decoded. Until next time, keep creating, keep connecting, and keep decoding what success means for you.